Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanang namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayang Mudiraye. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, chapter entitled The Marriage of Krishna and Rukmini, chapter 54, text 35 on the board. All of you please repeat after me. Chailena badhva tamasadhukarinam Sasma Shrukesham Prabhapanvyarupaya. Tavan mamardhu parasainyamādbhuta. Yadu pravira nalinim yatha gaja. Chailena badhva tamasadhukarinam. Sasma Shrukesham Prabhapanvyarupaya.
ममर्धु परसैन्यमद्भुता यदु प्रवीरा नलिनीं यथा गजा चैलेन बद्ध्वा तमसाधुकारिणं सस्मश्रुकेशं प्रवपं व्यरूपया तावन्ममर्धु परसैन्यमद्भुता यदु प्रवीरा नलिनीं यथा गजा बद्ध्वा तमसाधुकारिणं सस्मश्रुकेशं प्रवपन् व्यरूपया तावन्ममर्दु परसैन्यमद्भुतम् यदु प्रवीरा नलिनीं यथा गजा चैलेन बद्ध्वा तमसाधुकारिणां स्मश्रुकेशं प्रवपन् व्यरूपया Translation purport by disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Chailena, with a strip of cloth. Badhva, tying up. Tam, him. Asadhukarinam, the evil doer. Sasmashrukesham, leaving some of his moustache and hair remaining. Prabhapan, by saving him. Vyarupayat, made him disfigured. Tavat, by then. Mamardhu, they had crushed. Para, opposing. Sainyam, the army. Adbhutam, extraordinary. Yadu Pravira, the heroes of the Yadu dynasty. Nalinim, a lotus flower. Yatha, as. Gaja, elephants. Translation. Lord Krishna tied up the evildoer with a strip of cloth. He then proceeded to disfigure Rukmi by comically saving him, leaving parts of his moustache and hair. By that time, the Yadu heroes had crushed the extraordinary army of their opponents just as elephants crush a lotus flower. Purport. Lord Krishna used his same sharp sword to give the wicked Rukmi a peculiar haircut. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Nilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratise Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Taru Vyashya Kripa Sindhu Vya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnamebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Bande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Mishwaram. Hare Krishna. So we have almost reached to a very, very important and peculiar verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, as the purport says. So this journey of Mother Rukmini's journey from Kondaniyapur, Vidarbha to Dwaraka as a wife of Krishna is also the journey of the conditioned souls from material world to spiritual world. The lessons that we derive from Mother Rukmini's journey from Vidarbha to Dwaraka is often also the lessons of all the conditioned souls. Though Mother Rukmini she is actually the eternal consort of Krishna. She is Sakshat Lakshmi. She doesn't have to get married to Krishna. She is eternally married to Krishna. She is eternally engaged with Krishna. She is the eternal consort of Krishna. Rather, from her only all the Lakshmi Sahasra Sata Sambhrama Sevyamanam, all the thousands and crores of Lakshmis are coming from Rukmini. But Krishna brings down all his eternal associates, eternal consorts, the wives, the gopis, the Vrindavan Vasis, the Dwarka Vasis. Krishna brings them down to teach the conditioned souls wonderful lessons of how to be an associate. What it takes to be an associate of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's not just a joke. So Mother Rukmini, in her enactment as a simple ordinary, not ordinary, extraordinary girl as a princess of Vidarbha is showing the example of how a conditioned soul needs to get attracted to the pastimes of Krishna spoken by the sadhus. There were so many princes during those times in India. And in all those kingdoms, it was the normal course of action for all the sadhus to go to the king's court and give discourses on Krishna. That was the only topic that the sadhus were discussing, and anyone who is supposed to be a sadhu has to discuss about Krishna. So it's not that Vidarbha was a unique kingdom where sadhus were going. It's all the kings of in entire India. The custom was the sadhus would go and give discourses in the king's court, and all the family members, the kings, the courtiers, the ministers, everyone will attend. But it is the speciality of Rukmini who really got attracted by her voluntary choice to Krishna. So the first lesson that we learn from her life as a conditioned soul, that bhakti will arise in our heart only when we choose ourselves voluntarily to learn and hear about Krishna. It's a voluntary choice. The opportunity is available for everyone equally. Some people, being envious, speak about this verse that Krishna refers in Bhagavad Gita, that I am sama sarvesu, I am everyone's equal. I do not envy anyone, I do not give some extra benefits to anyone, but ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya. Anyone who becomes my devotee, I give a special age to him. And some people become envious of telling that, just see how Krishna is behaving and talking in Bhagavad Gita. He gives his special attention to devotees. But who stops you becoming a devotee? The opportunity for devotees, the opportunity for becoming a devotee is equally available for everyone. But it's Rukmini who made a voluntary choice to get attracted to Krishna, to get attracted to the words of the sadhus. We all have that equal opportunity, but we need the voluntary choice to choose to hear about Krishna and not hear about the talks of the material energy. So that's the first lesson that we learn from the life of Mother Rukmini, who is teaching us how to be a devotee of Krishna. That bhakti is about a voluntary choice. The opportunity may be available for all the princes in India that time. The sadhus used to visit the kingdoms, the kings of all the kings of India, small provinces. But it was the Vaidharvi, Rukmini, by her voluntary choice, she took attention to it. Instead of giving attention to so, just imagine what a lavish lifestyle the princess would be living. And that too, Rukmini was the only daughter of 5 brothers and 1 father, Bhismaka. So father and brothers, 6 people's Dulari was Rukmini. Just imagine what a lavish lifestyle Rukmini had, how much care and attention she would be getting. But she, out of her voluntary choice, she wanted to get attracted to the sadhu's words, to Krishna's pastimes. And through her voluntary choice, she wrote a letter through this Brahmana, that, oh Krishna, I want you. Similarly, it's only by voluntary choice. Krishna sends devotees and opportunities in so many people's lives, but it's only through a voluntary choice that the living entity decides to become serious in devotional service, to take initiation, to get trained in devotional service. Diksha kale Shishya kare Atma Samarpan, Sei kale Krishna kare Krishna mane tare Atma Sam. At the time of initiation, the living entity finally voluntarily surrenders to Krishna, to the Guru, and Krishna at that time accepts the living entity as his own self. So exactly in the same way Krishna accepted Rukmini. But this verse, Jai Shri Shri Nitai 𝐂𝐻𝐌𝐌𝐔𝐍 Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hare. So initiation, or when Krishna accepts us, is actually the beginning of our spiritual life. That's why it's called initiation. It is the beginning of our tests in Krishna consciousness. Krishna begins his tests in our life, just like Rukmini Devi is put to test. Her attachment to Rukmi is put to test. Exactly in the same way, our love for Krishna, our voluntary choice that we have given to Krishna to become a devotee of Krishna, will be seriously testified for its purity. For Krishna will ask us, do you want him, her, that, or me? And that is what is the situation at this stage, where Krishna is disfiguring Rukmi's, doing a peculiar, as the purport says, and the Sanskrit is Berupayat. So Krishna loves to disfigure our material attachments. Krishna loves to Berupayat, give a peculiar haircut to our material attachments in order to test whether we love him or not. And anyone who seriously wants to love Krishna, seriously wants to endeavor to go to spiritual world, will have to face what Mother Rukmini is facing now. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that these pastimes, Mother Rukmini has no attachment for Rukmi. If she would have attachment for Rukmi, she would have married to Sisupal. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that Mother Rukmini, there are actually two types of love exhibited towards Krishna. One is the love of the queens of Dwaraka, which is dependent on public opinion. So Mother Rukmini was thinking, oh, what would people tell? Just see, my husband killed my brother, his brother-in-law, and all the people would just spit at this incident. They would think so evil things about Krishna. So Mother Rukmini, thinking like this, is holding the feet of Krishna and telling, no, 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 don't kill Rukmi, my brother. She has no concern about Rukmi. She is not attached to Rukmi. But Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that this is the bhav of the queens of Dwarka, that their love is samanjasa. It is dependent on public opinion. What public thinks about my husband Krishna? What public thinks about my relationship with my husband? But the relationship of Krishna with the gopis is samartha. It is independent of public opinion. Whatever people may say, if Krishna is calling me in the dead of the night and I am wife of someone, I would just run out, considering nothing about the public opinion. So Rukmini is not attached to Rukmi, but we are all attached to the material attachments, Rukmi like material attachments. So she is just playing the part like a conditioned soul, being attached to these material, to her material attachment, to that bodily identification. And Krishna actually puts all of us to this taste. Why I am practicing Krishna consciousness. Most of us in the beginning of our Krishna consciousness practice Krishna consciousness because Krishna consciousness is just like an enhancer in our material life. Just like there is taste enhancer, we put some masala, we put some sauce, we put some ajinomoto, and just to enhance the taste. Exactly in the same way, oh, bhakti is so good, it helped me to become a better husband. Hare Krishna. Bhakti to Krishna is so nice, I became so nice wife, Prabhuji. Previously I was just shouting at my husband, left, right corner. Now I become so pacified and the situation in the family is so peaceful. Because of the practice of bhakti. It's all because Krishna came in my life, Prabhu. Previously, I used to never think of giving time to my kids. Now that I understood that yes, I have to be a very good father because I am a Krishna devotee. I have to give time to my kids. So for most of us, bhakti is our enhancer of our material identity because we are so much stooped and absorbed in our material identity which are like Rukmi. That is our main life and bhakti is our secondary life. That identity as father of someone, brother of someone, sister of someone, son of someone, daughter of someone is our main identity. And bhakti is good because it helps in my main identity. It enhances my main identity. It helps me to become a good manager. It helps me to become a good son. It helps me to become a good wife and a good husband. And that's why I am a devotee of Krishna. And so long we are in this platform being attached to the material identity of Rukmi, we will never feel the emotional fulfillment that is available in performing the devotional service. We'll never be happy in devotional service. Because we are performing devotional service as an enhancer for our material life. Devotional service is our secondary identity. And Krishna will test this purity of the purpose of practice of our bhakti to its fullest extent to take us back to spiritual world. Our real identity is identity as the servant of Krishna. And Krishna is going to test what your heart is beating for. Rukmini, if you see the previous verse, her heart was beating again and again, so much so that all the ornaments came out and she was feeling, oh my brother Rukmi, oh my brother Rukmi. So Krishna is going to disfigure. Krishna exactly knows what is our material attachment. And is exactly going to hit the hammer exactly at the nail of our material attachment, so that, oh no, Krishna, don't do like this. This is what I wanted in my life. Oh no, no. Yes, this is what is going to happen. This is the test for us to reach Dwaraka. Rukmini has not reached Dwaraka. This is all melodrama happening after Vidarbha. Krishna has brought him. Krishna never says that I will do like this. So Krishna, when we get initiated, we are not told. आगे जाके ये होने वाला है. The fun of disfiguring our material attachment is never revealed. It's a suspense. Being in Vidarbha, matlab, it's a suspense. It only happens when we have left Vidarbha. When we have left our family members, we have left all our material attachments, at least externally. Rukmini has left her material attachments externally, but internally she still feels that I am sister of Rukmini. So this is happening on the juncture of Dwaraka and Vidarbha, on the middle junction. Oh, are you now qualified to enter Dwaraka or not? Just see, let's see where your heartbeats are. So Krishna is going to do a divine ECG test to find out where our heart is beating. Our Sri Govind Ghosh Prabhu knows about ECG. Putting this and that and all those and all electric signals. So Krishna knows exactly where our heart has been beating since time immemorial in our material life. And he knows how to conduct this divine ECG test. So here is an opportunity for us to either go back to our material identity or complaining to Krishna, oh Krishna, what did you do? I gave everything to you and you knew that this is what is my attachment. You should have enhanced it, helped it. That is the sign of love. Love means what I love, you also love. If I love my material relationships, material identities, you must help it. Krishna, what is this love? But Krishna says, no, this is the way I love. And you choose to love me. This is the way I am. I am Swarat. So we need to understand that this is a deciding phase in the life of a sadhaka, where Krishna decides to test his material attachments, her material attachments, and is ready to do a birupayat, peculiar haircut of his material attachments, so long we allow Krishna to get it done. And how to empower ourselves to reach to Dwaraka and not go back to Vidarbha is what we will discuss today in the next 15 minutes. How to ensure that what our heartbeats are, which our heartbeat, which is beating now so much for this material life. Just imagine how much we feel when our father gets sick. How much we feel when our mother gets sick. When our sisters goes through some problem. We feel, oh, we really feel that some really inauspicious thing has happened. But we look in our lives, we do not have such feelings for Krishna. We do not have any emotions for Krishna. And until unless we really feel the emotional fulfillment in devotional service, we will never be able to give up the heartbeats for our material identity and material life. Bhakti will simply be an enhancer of our material life and material identity. And we will see 4 steps today how to nourish divine emotions and how to make our heart, which is beating for material life, beating for material identity, beat for Krishna, for Nitai Gauranga. So the first step that we need to do as taught by our acharyas is acknowledge. Acknowledge the greatest fortune of being a servant to Krishna. What a fortune it is. Kaviraj Goswami says in the 6th chapter of Adi Leela of Chaitanya Charitamrita that Advaita Acharya and all the incarnations, they are actually the Vishnu Tattvas. But Advaita Acharya acknowledges his identity as servant of Krishna like a madman, speaking it aloud again and again. All of you repeat, Chaitanya Radas Mui, Chaitanya Radas. Loudly. Like Advaita Acharya. Chaitanya Radas Mui, Chaitanya Radas. Chaitanya Radas Tar Daseranuda. Chaitanya Radas Mui, Chaitanya Radas. Chaitanya Radas Tar Daseranudas. So Advaita Acharya would be jumping and dancing like madman. She would be like, recently I am reading a book called Prem Vilas, which is the books on the pastimes of Srinivasa Acharya, Narottam Das Thakur and Syamananda Pandit, written by Nityananda Das. So this book says about how Srinivasa Acharya, when he reaches Navadvip Dham, Advaita Acharya has left by that time Navadvip, and Sita Thakurani, his wife, is there, and Srinivasa Acharya, while he reaches Santipur, he gets a divine darshan of Advaita Acharya in his divine spiritual form, who is welcoming Srinivasa Acharya to his own abode as Santipur. And Srinivasa Acharya, who was so morose, oh, I will not meet Advaita, Advaita has left, he becomes so jubilant and starts dancing. And at that time, Sita Thakurani is fetching water from Ganga, and she sees this personality, Srinivasa Acharya. And Sita Thakurani, just by seeing the ecstasy of Srinivasa Acharya, she says, I think you have met my husband. Otherwise, this ecstasy is not possible in any living entity without being empowered and inspired by my husband, Advaita Acharya. And then see, because the wife knows the husband the best. So she glorifies Advaita Acharya in this way, that my husband would continue doing something like, imagine he would be giving a class, and in between the class he will jump off from the Basasan, Chaitanya Radas Moi, Chaitanya Radas, and then he will be dancing like a madman, and then he will come back to the Basasan and continue the class. If Advaita Acharya would be doing some worship or offering some bhoga to the Lord, and while on the middle of the bhoga, Chaitanya Radas, Moi Chaitanya Radas, and jumping, and again he will continue bhoga offering and he will come back. If you would be singing some Vaishnav song or something, Chaitanya Das, Mui Chaitanya Das, I am the fortunate servant of Lord Chaitanya. And he would then interrupt the singing and then again continue singing. This is my husband. So the first step in trying to make our heart beat for Krishna is to speak again and again using our word, using our faculty of speech, that I am the servant of Krishna. I am the servant of Chaitanya. I am not son of someone, I am not wife of someone, I am not husband of someone. Those are just my duties. They are not my identities. There is a huge difference between duties and identities. Advaita Acharya never considered himself as the husband of Sita Thakurani. Advaita Acharya never considered himself as the father of Achyutananda. Advaita Acharya, in all his course of life, he just considered himself as Chaitanya Das, Mui Chaitanya Das, and like that, like a madman, in between all the activities, whatever you do, you would be just jumping, and then he will continue doing his activities. So this is the first step that we need to proudly, we must feel the pride in our heart that I am the chosen soul in this material world by my Gurudev, by Srila Prabhupada, that I have now got this special divine identity which even the greatest incarnations cherish to have it. That is the identity of being a servant. The identity that which Mother Lakshmi, who got such a wonderful position in the chest of Vishnu, she said, what is the use in staying in this chest? Oh, what's the use? What's the use? And Narayan said, I will embrace you. I have given you the most delicate, most special position near my heart. No, what is the use? What service I will do? Give me a position at your lotus feet. That's what Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Kaviraj Goswami says. We must try to understand, feel proud about being a servant of Krishna and jump. Now I am the fortunate one to be chosen. I didn't have any qualification. My Guru Maharaj, my Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, and all the Guru Parampara have given me the greatest fortune of being a servant of Krishna. The fortune that Lakshmi is hankering for. The fortune that Vishnu, Narayan, all the incarnation, Balramji is hankering for. I have got it. So we must repeat it again and again. Acknowledge the fortune. Then our heart will beat with that fortune. Our fortune is very much dependent on what we feel who are all fortunate. Like many years before, one devotee came to me and said, Ki Prabhuji, world record history has happened. I said, what happened? One of my friend got 100 percentile in CAT exam. I said, hi. After practicing I said to him, honestly, after practicing devotional service for so many years, do you still think that he is the most fortunate one? I would consider him the most unfortunate. To become, he is now qualified to become a donkey. Qualified donkey for the material energy. Because he has got 100 percentile in CAT. So we must have that conviction in our heart. Who is the fortunate? Who has got 100 percentile in CAT? Who has become a topper in some engineering and all these institutes and everything? Or who has come to this humble conviction that I am simply a servant of Lord Chaitanya? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when Pradyumna Mishra comes to Lord Chaitanya and says, oh, I want to hear Bhagavatam, I want to hear Bhagavatam. Lord Chaitanya dances in ecstasy, telling Pradyumna, Mahabhagyavan tumi, Mahabhagyavan, jar hruday, Krishna kathay ruchi jagrat hoy, tumi Mahabhagyavan. Because in your heart, the test to hear Krishna Katha has arisen. You are the most fortunate person, O Pradyumna Mishra. But I am not the person to speak to you. Go to Ramananda Rai. So whom we consider fortunate? Do we consider fortunate as those great souls who have developed spiritual emotions? Or do we consider those who have given cat and all doing all nonsense? Are they the most fortunate people? So whom we consider fortunate in our life will determine what fortune will get in my life. So acknowledge the pride of being the servant of Krishna like the Advaita Acharya. And the next step is attention. Consciously. It's not about the quantity of service that we are rendering to Krishna that will make our heart beat for Krishna. The example given is, imagine some of you, let's say, Yogesh Prabhu is being invited by some devotees for a prasadam. It is his birthday. And these devotees, they have worked very hard to make 56 items, delicious, all beautiful items for Yogesh Prabhu on his birthday. And Yogesh Prabhu tests the dal. Jala hua, it's burnt. The sabji, salt is less. The rotis are burnt. The rice is so cooked, it's like khichdi. And there are all 56 items decorated, but nothing is tasting well, because in the course of making 56 items, all the people could not even make one item properly, and Yogesh returns back hungry. Prabhuji, rice milega kya ashram mein? This is how, when we do service, we send back Krishna to Vrindavan Dham hungry, because we are so busy in the quantity of the service to Krishna that we forget to render service with quality and attention. Better do one service with attention. Better, Yogesh Prabhu would be pleased if one rice and dal is offered to him with speciality, than offering 56 items which has no salt or burnt and all these things. So we sometimes become like a service machine. A machine of rendering and showing the quantity of service I am doing for Krishna. Just see Krishna. Instead of that, attentive, quality, service of little bit wins the heart of Krishna. Makes our heart beat for Krishna. I was reading one book by Rupa Goswami, Radha Krishna Gauna Des Deepika, where Rupa Goswami explains the family lineage of Krishna, where he explains about the mandalis of the gopis and yuthas, and how the gopis, they are classified, and groups and all the names of the gopis. I was shocked that there is a specific category of gopis who just make flower bracelet for Krishna. Just imagine. That is the specific quality service that is being asked in Vrindavan Dham. There is the entire class of gopi. Their only service is to make only flower bracelet of only one category. There are many categories of flower bracelets that Radharani and Krishna wear. A particular category allocated to a particular, not one gopi, to a complete mandali of gopis. Their only service for the entire eternity is to make flower bracelet of one category for eternity. Hare Krishna. This is the depths of quality that is being asked in Sri Vrindavan Dham to render service to Krishna. And if we really want our attentiveness, our heart to beat for Krishna, we need to learn to be attentive in the quality of the service that we are rendering, not expand the breadth of the quantity of service. What pleases Krishna is the attentive quality in whatever we are, a conscious endeavor with concentration to please Krishna. So the second one is attention. And the third step to make our heart beat for Krishna is anticipation. Reading the scriptures, reading the pastimes, not just for an information. Oh, I know what Krishna did with Kaliya. I know everything. Reading them with an anticipation, with a dream. Oh Krishna, someday I will also be there, witnessing these pastimes that Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in the Krishna book, witnessing the Kaliya Leela in front of my own eyes, not just reading it. Reading scriptures with this divine anticipation, with the divine anticipation to love Krishna, to reach to spiritual world. Just like Akrura was anticipating Krishna's presence in Vrindavan, how he will meet Krishna. And there is a special verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. 2 verses are mentioned in the 10th canto. 1 verse is mentioned twice. This is a special verse. Krishna's instructions to Nagapatnis, sorry, not Nagapatnis, the Brahman Patnis. When the Brahman Patnis are reaching, Krishna instructs the wives of the Brahmanas in a very special verse. We will end here. I would like all of you to open the verse 10, 23, 33. This is about anticipation. 10, 23, 33. Yes, open. Shravana darshana dhyana Mai bhavanu kirtana Natata sarnikarshena Pratiyato yato griha. So Krishna is telling, O Brahman Patnis, Sravanam Darshana Dhyanat. It's only by hearing, it's by taking darshan of me, it's by meditating on my form. And natatah sarni karshena. It's not by my physical proximity that you will attain love for me. But a very special word that Krishna uses is Mai Bhava Anukirtanat. That these activities, Shravan, Kirtan, Smaran, reading, has to be done with Mai Bhava, with an anticipation. Mai Bhava Anukirtanat. And this same verse, Krishna speaks to gopis in the Rasa dance section. Exactly same verse. That, oh gopis, you have come here. Don't you think my physical proximity will not give you love? Go back. Do Shravan Kirtan with Mai Bhava, with anticipation. Someday I will attain Krishna. So this anticipation. And we see all throughout Srimad Bhagavatam, everyone is having this divine anticipation. We see the Mathura ladies. When Mathura ladies are seeing Krishna in the wrestling arena, what they are saying? Dhanya braja striya uru kramachittayana. Dhanya, dhanya, fortunate, fortunate. When, oh, why we are born in Mathura? Why not in Vrindavan? How the Braj ladies are fortunate. Oh, they're anticipating about the glorious birth in Vrindavan Dham. We see Brahma, he is telling, oh, wow, what is the glorious life being a mother in Vrindavan? Aho, aho. What is the Aho Bhagyam, Aho Bhagyam? Similarly, the gopis are also anticipating, what is the bhagya of this flute? Has not done anything, just a piece of wood, and just always clinging to the lips of Krishna. Gopyastapa kimacharat kushalasya venu damodara sudha api gopikanam. Damodara Dhara Sudha Apikopikanam. It's just clinging always. What austerities this gopis, what austerities this flute has performed. So Srimad Bhagavatam, we see all the divine personalities, they are filled with divine anticipation. They are chanting the names of Krishna, they are remembering Krishna, but their remembrance is infused, imbued with divine anticipation. That when I will meet Krishna, when that day will come when I will stand in front of Krishna, what I will do when Krishna comes in front of me. Whether I'll swoon in ecstasy, whether I'll catch his feet, whether I'll catch his hand, whether I'll just cry, oh Krishna, finally I have caught you. What I will do. In this dream and anticipation, we must read this Krishna's pastimes. And the fourth one is ambience. Creating and living in an ambience which inspires remembrance to Krishna. We must create the space in which we are living like a sacred space. Our living room, our table, the place where we live, the place where we go around, everything should be designed as an uddipan to remember Krishna. When we read the scriptures and when we relate with this world, the world should become an ambience for our Krishna remembrance. Just like yesterday in the evening, the cows were frolicking. Yes, you saw the cows were frolicking, jumping, and there was an air of dhuli. And I was just remembering how the gopis, when they see the cows returning, it's practically an air in Vrindavan. Nothing is visible. The cows are not visible. Only the dhulis are visible. And from that comes out a black color person whose hairs are decorated with the dust of the cows from the cows' hooves. And gopis are glorifying that form of Krishna who has become Panduranga. The form of Krishna who has become dust-like color. The black color has become, from Syamaranga, he has become Panduranga. Panduranga Vithala. So in this way, whatever space we are living, we should try to redesign it, renovate it in a way that it fosters Krishna remembrance. That is the ambience that we need to create, either in our homes or brahmachari ashrams where we are living. That space should become a sacred space, not a cluttered space which fosters forgetfulness of Krishna. To summarize, we need to make our heart beat for Krishna so that when Krishna does this disfiguring activity, which will anyway be done before reaching Dwaraka, on the juncture of Dwaraka, we need to make our heart beat for Krishna so that we reach Dwarka, not go back to Vidarbha. And these 4 steps of making our heart beat for Krishna. The first one, acknowledge like Advaita Acharya as the servant of Krishna. Speak it aloud again and again, within the heart, with the words, I am servant of Krishna. And second one is giving attentive quality service, not just becoming a service machine. And the third one, anticipating Krishna's going back to spiritual world while we read Krishna's pastime, not just for information, but with an anticipation. One day I will be a part of these pastimes. And the fourth one, creating a sacred ambience in our living space which fosters remembrance of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Shri Rukmini Mangalam ki, Shri Rukmini Devi ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Samavet Gaur Bhakta Vrind ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande.